Hello everyone, we are here at GauntletCon 2019 playing Trophy to Make My Bread. Trophy is a game where you go into the forest to die, but this time we are not even going to make into the forest. We are going to be exploring the ruins of an ancient mill. This is a Gauntlet game, so it's covered by the Gauntlet inclusivity policy. Uh, we are using an open table, so at any point any of our players needs to stop for any reason, we just do so and we pause the game. That would not be an issue. We are also using the following safety tools. We have lines and veils, which should be treated as a living document that should be constantly updated as need comes by. Lines are things that we don't want to see as part of our game, and veils are things that we would rather not deal with, but we can acknowledge that happen. We also are using the X card, so at any point you just signal verbally on chat, on video, in any way what makes you uncomfortable, and we're going to roll back. And finally, we have descriptions, which is when we want to create the scene more carefully. We have additional options, so we can rewind something and replay again certain events. We can stop and discuss how we want to handle things, or we can also fast forward elements of a scene that we don't want to linger on. We start on the edge of the forest, half a day's journey from the safety of Fort Durin, nestled in the banks of the Navea River. There is a massive old mill there, which people nicknamed the Cormoran Wheel. There are people that live there. It's a popular place after all. It's away from the busybody of the night squad at Fort Durin. It's a place where people can smuggle treasures of the forest, make deals with spirits, and more important, to get supplies before they actually venture into the forest. You came there for supplies, but all you can see now is the white fog with the smell of flour around you. And there is warmth in your faces and the smell of freshly baked bread. And as the fog clears, you see a cow's hand offering you a sweet roll. We get back to the previous day as you arrive to Comora's wheel. You see a tent village, and it's always bristling with activity. There's always people that try to make a living there, away from the law. Uh, and all these communities, they disperse when the King's Guard comes, but they always reassemble again. It seems that a riot is happening in recent days. So, Orlin, what do you see on the 10th city that tells you about the brutality ways in which the King's Guard tried to disperse the city to no avail?
That's me, Olin.
Yeah.
Let's see, the brutality of, of the King's Guard. I think it's quite muddy here, and there's like each time that the King's Guard chase everyone away, there's like a layer of stuff left behind, like coins and scraps of tents and all sorts of things people have left behind. And it just like sinks into the mud, and then the next people build the tent city on top of it. So it's like there's layers and layers of discarded crap in the mud. And there's a few people, very poor people, who are just like digging in the mud, excavating the stuff left behind.
There are a few places of resistance that not even the King's Guard touches. One of them is an orphanage. Cassian, what can you tell us about this orphanage?
So the orphanage is in the tent city, or part of the tent city.
Yeah.
I think the guards, a lot of the guards from the fort are actually orphans from neighboring orphanages like this one, and they actually pay the orphanages to kind of indoctrinate and train the kids early on, so that they become quite loyal and very useful guards as they come of age.
And how did you break that cycle, that pipeline?
Cassine personally escaped because he found, talking about the digging in the mud, there's something that the kids at the orphanage also like to do, and he found a ritual there which he enacted, and he built a mini Cassine from mud and gave it life, which was enough to distract people for a little while to let Cassine escape.
You know that you are on the right trail, Jack, when you find out that the people are talking about the last expedition that made their way through the mill. There was a relative of yours. Well, they will not see you as their relative, but they are in blood. There is a young relative of yours that was here talking that they were the reincarnation of Queen Setet Ilsnol, and that they were going into the forest to prove everyone how they had returned from the realm of the dead. And it seems that they never made it to the forest. It seems that they have, after making a big mess in the tent city, they just did not assemble to the expedition, and the other treasure hunters left without them. How do you feel about this young relative of the family that you wish to be part of?
Well, really, it's no surprise. Crazy cousin Ellie has never finished anything in her life. She's always had really big dreams, but very little ambition or competence, and she just charges forward without any preparation. We are very well prepared. She probably came out here with a bag full of bread and a kitchen knife and thought she was going to be fine. So I'm not surprised. I don't think it. I think the family will be better off without her. Really, it's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. Get rid of her.
So you go around the city of Cormoranswell trying to get supplies, and you found that the recent raid has actually made it hard to get reliable supplies. And the only place which you find that is giving bread that you know that is not hard biscuit recooked who knows how many times, the only fresh bread seems to be from a kindly old woman named Risti. And as you are done buying your bread, you can hear the sounds of fighting as an old forest guide approaches Risti and starts accusing her, throwing a sweet roll at her. Tell me what you did to my son. Where is my Jacob? You killed them, Risti. You killed them all. And the old woman starts sobbing.
I'm going to go up to this guy and put a hand on his shoulder and push him away from the older woman and say, "What's going on here?"
She killed my Jacob. Look at this. And the man shows you a golden tooth. This was Jacob's, and I found it on a sweet roll.
Cassine is going to smell the bread he's just bought from her. Does it smell normal?
It has this delicious smell of freshly baked bread and
Okay.
very light flour. Please, I'm an old woman. I will never kill anyone. You know, Jacob, he's so strong. How could they even kill Jacob? Come on, Joban, you're just speaking out of grief, but please don't lash out at me.
How is the old man reacting to that?
The old one, man seems to be becoming angry and angrier. There are kids that have been vanishing. I've been contracted twice to treasure hunter parties, and whenever it comes to actually assemble, there's always half of them missing. No, it's Jacob. Something is happening, and I think you know what it is. If you're not killing them, you are working with whoever is killing them.
Well, that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would you whack somebody before they come back with the treasure? You want them to go out there. Nobody's killing anybody ahead of time. This is a scary, dangerous job. People just leave.
Well, a lot of people come here with a lot of money already invested, Joban admits. That's why they hire someone like me. There's always bandits near the forest looking ready to punch on them. This is bad business, and now it has hurt my family. I knew you're involved, Risty.
I turn to Risty and go like, "Is this true? Do you know anything about this? Is there some dangerous thing going on right here?"
So Joban says that he has attracted too much attention, and he decides to go back for now. And Risty just disappears on her stool. I think I know what is happening. And she shows you her hands, and arthritis has become too much, and it's became really hard for me to work the dough. So I've decided to go to the old mill where I met the spirits of the forest, and they have replied to my offerings with giving me sweet rolls every morning, and that has been helping me to do the orders that I no longer can comply to. The problem is, I know the sacrifices and the offerings that people have been made for centuries to the forest, and the young boys, they must have heard about it. They are always looking around for things in the mud, always trying to find something precious to sell. And I'm sure they found out that there are tons and tons of gold underneath the place. I think this is what happened to them. They are probably lost or probably dead in the mill. I had nothing to do with that, but I know the way. I know where the offerings are, and I know only someone fit and bold could make their way. But clearly, it's not working for the young people.
So what offering did you make to the spirit of the forest for them to give you your bread?
I only made the offerings of my work. They always love some milk and butter. and all they give in return is some sweet flour. I don't deal with the big spirits of Kaldur. I deal with the smaller ones around the mill.
But
Hmm.
the kids are not so careful.
They ventured into the deeps where the true sacrifices have to be made, where the spirits only want blood soaked gold. Because they demand so much from them and they demand even more. I think this is what must happen. I know where these treasure troves are. I went there as a little girl. I can still navigate the ruins, but I'm too old and frail for that.
If you went there as a little girl, then why aren't you rich now?
Because I never wanted for gold. I just wanted to live with the spirits to coexist. I knew that taking gold would offend them and that would be worse. I always maintained a good relationship with them.
I turn to the others and sort of slightly away from Risty say, I know we had plans, but this feels like a really good lead. If there's all these people going there with their offerings and don't make it back, there's got to be a lot lying there. That's got to be worth it. That would really help me out.
You're not wrong. And I've heard pretty horrible things about going into the woods. Maybe this will be easier.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of kids who are unprepared. I mean, look at us. I think we can take whatever's down there.
I don't like it, but I suppose I'll go along with it. We should be careful.
Naturally.
We're always careful.
And Racy seems delighted. Oh, thanks, so good. You're such noble adventurers, and Joan has such respect for treasure hunters. I'm sure that if you come and see with your own eyes and you say that indeed they lost their life foolishly in the meal, you can save my good name. I'm so pleased that I'll gladly lead you on across the secrets of the meal. I'll take you there to the deep parts where the treasures lay.
Very well. I feel then there's no time to lose before any more rich kids. I mean, desperate kids go and get themselves killed.
We're big time heroes.
So the meal ruins are treasures, and the entire massive complex that used to feed the whole of the kingdom, it collapsed when something caused the migration of the river centuries ago. Uh, and you have to these crevice that used to be where the old river crosses, and you have to cross it to even approach the mill. The collapse ruined more than the mill. This part, always being in the wild frontier of the wild frontier of the land, was also part to another fort. Even before Fort Durham, a few miles from here, was built, there was another fort there, and there was a legion stationed there. The fort was abandoned or collapsed at the same around the same time that the mill did. But the people there, nobody ever found out what happened to them, and they have them gave them the nickname of the Nameless Legion. So what next to the mill reminds you that the Nameless Legion used to call this place home some time ago, Orlan?
Um, I think as we're walking down the road, I pass a tree, and there's like the sigil of the Nameless Legion has been carved into the tree, but it's been so long that the wood has actually kind of grown over the incision, and it's kind of like the tree has walked around the cut, but I still recognize it.
Risti points out to an opening on the side of the crevice, opening inside the ruins of the mill. And there is you see an old rope dangling from where you stand towards there. I cross this path, but I do it on my own. You might have to be more careful. A lot of young kids hurt themselves trying the same feat. And light as she is, that she just starts climbing the rope slowly and painfully until she makes to the other way. How are you following her, equipped and armored as you are?
Sorry, can you just describe this rope again? Is it going across the river?
Yeah, there is the dry river. There is a side tunnel on the other face that it's half covered by overgrowth, and there is a dangling thin old rope that is stretched from one way, and she slowly goes down it with her coarse hands, light as she is. Just manage it, but you are well aware that the three of you might not have an easier time. And you might actually have an easier time just going down the river bed and then climbing.
Whereabouts is the old fort? Is it on the other side of the river?
It is on the other side of the river.
Okay, I definitely want to investigate that fort to try and see if I can find the banner of the Nameless Legion. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I'd like to just sort of check and appraise the rope a little. Does it? How does it look? Does it look like it might take our weight, or is it really kind of a bit ragged?
No, it probably will not take the weight of all of you, but if one is careful, maybe one by one you can make it through.
Well, I am a messenger, so I'm fast and light and skilled with quickness and speed over armor and brawn. So I'm sure that it won't be any problem for me to cross the rope pretty easily. If you guys want me to go first and check it out, or spot to see if there's any other better way as I cross, that's totally fine by me.
Would it be a
I'm
massive
wearing the
detour
armor,
to
so-
go down?
Sorry, what?
So
You
would
go
it be
ahead,
a massive detour to go down and up again?
No.
Well, I'm wearing heavy armor, so I'm gonna just head down the bank, and maybe if someone is at the top of the bank, they can put a rope down for me on the other side. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. If you need a hand, I'll lower something down or toss some sticks or carve some muddy footprints or something for you.
Good work, Jack.
Okay, so is anyone using the rope?
Jack is definitely using the rope.
Okay, so let's have our first risk roll. So I'm gonna say you're skilled on this, because this is navigation. I think covers this. You're skilled on this, so you get one light dice. Now, are you willing to risk your body and mind?
I think it's clear that by crawling across a rope over a ravine, I'm definitely risking my body.
Okay, so you also get the dark dice. Now, you can ask the table for a devil's bargain, and then other players will suggest to the GM different devil's bargain, and then I'm going to propose you if you accept the devil's bargain and you get an extra light die. The devil's bargain is something else that happens as a consequence of you doing this action, but it's never something that invalidates your success. So it's an additional complication that happens either you succeed or fail, but it never invalidates your success.
I'm more than happy to listen to any sort of bargains.
Okay. Anyone has any idea?
Yeah, I was wondering if something precious to Jack might slip out of his pocket or something while he's climbing over without him noticing.
That's a good one. Arlene?
I guess maybe Jack could get halfway across and then freeze up and realize that he's not quite as nimble as he thought he was.
That invalidates the success a bit. So I think I'm going to go with...
My dad's pocket watch.
yeah. So do you accept a devil's bargain for something precious to you to just fall?
Sure. I mean, I'm going to be dead in an hour anyway, so.
You could be worse than that.
Right.
Okay, so you get a light dice. So go for it.
So I have 2 light dice and 1 dark die. Is that correct?
Yeah, so you just roll all the dice. So you just select them on roll for your party and re-roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 2d6 and then 1d6p. Is that right? Are you guys still there? Did I freeze up?
No, I see you've got a 3, a 3, and a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like maybe the other 2 are frozen up. Can you still hear me?
I still hear you.
I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear both of you guys. I think Ludo might have frozen.
Oh, well.
Yep, Ludo dropped for a second. I imagine he'll come back since it's his house.
So how's Gauntlet Con been for you?
It's been good for me. I've only been able to play the one game. I was working Thursday, Friday night, so I got one game of Dungeon World in earlier today.
It's morning for me.
Is Frank frozen to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we should plot to murder these guys while we're waiting.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we can murder the game master, but
Turn the universe to our own ends.
I've never used StreamYard before. I think it's a bit harsh on my old laptop because it's like the fan is going louder and louder. So
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't overheat before the end of the game.
Mine's pretty hot too. I've got it propped up for ventilation because, yeah, every game I've played it. Well, both games and the next one I'm playing are all different apps. Everybody's got their own thing they want to do.
Yeah, it's a shame that I don't know. It seems like you can never really get one that's perfect. Google Hangouts was really good for a long time, but it's been sort of slowly breaking down since they stopped updating it.
Huh. I think my next game is the Google Hangout, so I guess I'm not looking forward to that then.
Yeah, I mean it should be fine. It's like it has a lot of features, and then the features kind of disappeared or stopped working, but the connection quality is still good. I haven't
Okay.
had any in the past few weeks. I haven't had any like dropouts like this.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't remember what I was playing on earlier today, but I definitely dropped out in the middle of that game. I lost 5 or 10 minutes trying to reconnect, and then there was all sorts of glitchy robot noise.
yeah,
But
I think my favorite one I've used is Zoom, because that's like an app that you download, and that seems like a bit more stable.
it was Zoom actually, but I didn't download it. I went through my browser, so
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe I should download it.
But I'm wary about Zoom because they had like this really bad security breach a while back.
Perfect.
That it was like just kind of showed that the people developing it had no idea of security. So they did fix it because someone found it and then they were like big controversy about it. But it kind of makes me worried that there might be other security flaws.
Right.
Hey, sorry, my router decided to die.
Always
Yeah.
happens.
So,
Yeah, Frank fell out too. He's hopefully going to pop back up any minute.
oh, okay, unfortunate. So, you got this great success. That's good.
Yeah, starting things off right. That'll probably be the last good roll.
Oh, I'm back, or you guys are back.
We're all back.
I'm also back. Yeah. So, what is the precious things that falls down, and you
So-
want to realize when you make your way past?
So I lose it even with the success? Is that how that works?
Yeah, that's the devil's bargain. It always
Gotcha.
happens.
Okay, no worries. My dad's pocket watch.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch!
And as you look, as it crashes down and breaks, and
Yeah.
it's completely ruined.
Springs and sprockets everywhere.
Yeah, and was your father's pocket watch of the family that you wish to be part of?
No, that's a woman that I'm wooing. Hopefully I'll get enough treasure from this score to make her think more highly of me, because, I'm kind of friend zoned right now.
Yeah. So, one of you is already made past. So, Jack, you give a good tug and make sure that the rope is well tied. So, is anyone following on the rope, or is everyone else going with Orlean?
I'm going with Orlin.
So, the two of you try to go down, and it's way trickier than you expected. The stones are loose, and you have this layer of dust that is disturbed as you go down. And you start careful, but soon you start to get the feeling that you have to speed up as you have to accompany the rolling stones and the increasingly steep side of the ravine. So I'm going to need risk rolls of both of you to trying to make down safely. And Arlene is trained on this.
I've got athletics, so does that mean I can roll 2 dice?
Yeah. But Cassian, I would say, is not. No. So which of you is risking mind and body?
I'll be honest, I'm kind of hoping that if I fall, that Orlin will break my fall.
But he's hard and armored. So maybe eating the ground is softer.
Okay.
Okay, let's go for Arling first. So are you risking mind and body?
I guess not. I mean, the worst that can happen is that I just fall down to the bottom of the ravine. I'm not really sure what the risking mind and body question mean?
Basically, it means you can gain ruin.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, look, I'm skilled at this, so I'm not going to risk my minding what.
Do you want to take a devil's bargain?
Um, no, I'm just going to leave the devil's bargains for now. I'm just going to do like
Okay,
a.
so just roll a light one. So you can pick one of the light ones and select it and re-roll selected.
All right. So I only get one die.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're not skilled and you're not risking your mind and body, then you just have no dice at all.
Yeah, it's just fail.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. All right. I thought I would have 2 dice if I was skilled. Well, all right.
That would be if you also took a devil's bargain and risked mind and body.
I see. Okay. Well, look, I'll just roll 1 die for now and see what happens. What am I? It's like a 4 is my target number.
4 to 6.
Four
For
to
5,
6.
you get a complication. 6 is perfect.
Okay, so I rolled a 5.
Okay, so you managed to make your way down, and you managed to stop safely. The complication is that Cassian is coming at high speed towards you. So, do you try to catch Cassian, or do you try to dodge him?
I'll try to catch him.
Okay, so that's another athletics check as you try to slow him down. So you are skilled. Do you risk anything else? Devil's bargain.
Yeah, give me a devil's bargain.
Okay, so suggestions. What do you think can go wrong at this, even if you succeed?
What do you call it? Newton's cradle. It comes in from one side and the other one goes. So he stops me, but he goes tumbling.
Jack?
No, I don't. I think that one looks like the most feasible action. Perhaps you both end up tumbling down and get stuck in some mud, which ends up weighing you down for the climb up. It is a riverbed after all. It's probably got some pretty gnarly mud puddles.
Yeah, I kind of gonna go with a mix of that. I'm gonna say that that it seems like you tumble down and you end up in the bottom, no harmed, but clearly you have no way to climb back on this side. I'll say that is the devil's bargain that I'm offering.
So they can't get out on the side that we're headed to, or they can't get out back?
Back.
Okay.
Yeah, because they disturbed that path with rolling all these stones and disturbing this mud. So do you take a devil's bargain?
Sure.
Okay. So that's 2 light.
2 light dice. I'm going to roll them down. And I got a 4 and a 1. So I take the highest one, is that right?
Yes. Okay, so you manage to slow down, and you two fall in the mud, get soaked, but no bruises, maybe some pain in your muscles from the strain, but nothing serious. But you look back and you see these larger stones keep falling, and you see no clear path back. Seems that you're gonna go to the other side of the ravine and climb there. So
when
Jack,
I
say, go.
when I get up out of the mud, I'm gonna like take off my plate mail, my mail gauntlet that I wear, and then like underneath the gauntlet is like on my arm there's like a bite mark. That's like this kind of like livid scar, and I'm just gonna kind of wipe it clean to try and get all the mud off it, and just try and do that without Frank's character noticing.
So, Jack, as this is happening, do you do something to help them?
Well, from my vantage point, all that I can do is laugh at them. But when they begin their climb, I will toss down some rope as far as it'll reach and let them climb up a little more easily.
Yeah, and I tap Orlan on the shoulder without sort of looking at him. Then, thanks, man, and sort of look towards the rope.
All right, let's get going.
So you make to the other hand of the ravine, and you are finding a lot of places that you can use to support on your climb. And Orlin, they seem familiar, and there's something about the stone that you're climbing that it's way too well cut. It has not been eroded by the river, and you recognize the stone cutter marks on them as some of the guilds that use it to create forts on the region. So you realize that you are climbing through stones that use it to be part of the fort.
Sorry, was that a question?
That was a statement. How does Orlean react to that?
Oh, okay.
Because this becomes very obvious as he's climbing. Wait, these stones belong to the fort.
So that must mean that the fort has since collapsed. So yeah, I guess I probably already knew that because I know that the banner of the Nameless Legion has been lost. So perhaps this is actually where they had their last stand at this fort. But I can't imagine what could have happened that would have caused the whole fort to collapse like this.
All right. So let's make another risk roll to make the climb. And this time, because of the rope, both of you count as skilled. So who wants to go first?
I can go first this time.
Okay.
And
Are you risking anything?
I promise not to fall back onto you, Orlan. We'll be
That
fine.
could be a devil's bargain.
I guess this looks dangerous, so I'll risk taking a little tumble.
Okay, so you get the light in the dark.
Okay, so this is my first time using roll for your party. How does it work? Do I
So,
just drag any one of the?
Yeah, you can just select them. You just click on them and you're gonna select them. And you can, there is this middle button on the options, reroll selected. So just do that.
Okay. All right. So, oh dear. So,
Oh dear.
So that's a 5 on the dark die, which means, well, it's sort of a success, and it's also my ruin goes up or something.
Yes. So what happens is you manage to make the climb, but there's something. As you're making the climb, as you put your hands on the stones, you start to get an horrible feeling of apprehension. You find it hard to breathe, and it is not because of the efforts. You remember all the times of during childhood when you hid from bad things, and you are getting these same instincts, this desire to hide of something. You feel observed. You feel that there is something terrible around you, and you get these goosebumps that they refuse to go away. You look at your skin, and it's goosebumps everywhere, and it's like you are on this. Your body is reacting on a state of dread, and you feel so cold. So your run increases, and you mark, and you get this condition, permanent goosebumps.
Permanent goosebumps.
Yeah, but you managed to make your way to the pot, and Risti pulls out the flute and sings a single note of happiness. That and then she kneels and looks to see how Arlen is doing.
Quick question. There seems to be a conditions thing on my sheet already with a few things in there.
Just erase those.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what is Harlan risking?
I guess I'm risking my mind and body this time. So
No
I'm gonna
devil's bargain?
yeah, sure. Give me a devil's bargain as well.
The devil's bargain that. Okay, let's listen to the other players' suggestions first.
I would have said rope burn, but that's not going to happen with gauntlets. Maybe just you scuff part of the armor or dent part of the armor to make it a little uncomfortable. It always sort of, you've got that dent which always pushes into your thigh or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense that the armor becomes not less effective, but less maneuverable.
Are you there, Ludo? You look like maybe you're frozen.
Yeah, might have frozen a little bit there.
Oh well, I'm gonna go get a glass of water, so I'll be back in a minute.
Sorry about that. It seems StreamYard is a bit weepy today. So we're talking about devil's bargains. So dent on the armor. On Jack, what would be your suggestion?
Oh, I was kind of agreeing with the dent on the armor more along the lines of it's impairing the mobility. The armor isn't damaged as far as armor goes, like it will still stop whatever the armor would stop, but now it's less comfortable. Maybe it binds in the legs and makes it harder to move.
Okay. So do you take this devil's bargain?
Yeah.
Okay. So That's too light then. Okay, go
Too
ahead.
light and dark.
If you are risking mind of body, yes.
Okay, let's roll those three. Oof. So I got 3 on the light dice, and I also got a 5. So wait, the 5 on the dark die means that I succeeded, but I take ruin. Is that right?
Yes. So you you make the climb, and as you are going, you start to notice that you are making through a spot of white, grayish, yellowish stone, and you prick yourself on one of the stones and give them a good look, and you realize that you have not been climbing through stone, you have been climbing through a layer of pressed skeletons.
Ooh.
Skeletons that may once be human, but you can see that the bones and the skulls, they are twisted and fused together in something uncanny. On your aura, you just speed up your climb, denting your armor in the process and jamming it in so the movements become awkward and constraining. And it's not the only thing that feels weird and constraining. You touch your mouth and you see that the three of your teeth are fusing together.
My teeth are fusing together. Jesus.
Yes. So increase your ring and get that condition.
Condition was dented on.
That just makes your bite stronger.
Yeah,
and you
more
won't
pressure.
get anything stuck in between them. I mean,
Yeah.
this
No
is
more,
a win.
no more flossing.
Yeah, saves in dentistry. I'm here to replace a single tooth. All right. So you managed to make and Risty bites you to go along. Please, let's go, let's go. And there seems to be a mist filling these tunnels. It's almost floor-like. Uh, it's chalky and seems to cling to everything. So you have a white layer on your pants and on your shoes, and you can hear grinding sounds deeper into the tunnels. Come this way, but be careful. Get a light, or you can sleep on. So who turns on a light source?
Yeah, I'm happy to light a lantern.
All right, you go first, Cassian, and I'll be right behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll bring out a nice little lantern and set light to it. And
Right on.
So you make further and further into the tunnels, and it's really hard not to sleep past. The place is way too tricky. The stones seem always to cut on weird angles. And you you follow Risti's leadership and you get in what seems to be the big center of a maze. You can see that it's like two buildings collided here, and there are six openings between them. And Risti looks around. Oh, my website is not what it used to be. I go by the smell of freshly baked bread because that's where the spirits put the sweet rolls. But I already took them this morning. I cannot I don't know. Can any of you try to make the right path?
Well, what are we looking for?
Uh, Either the sound of the fairies working or the smell of bread. They are always baking. They are very busy bodies, the spirits.
Resty comes here daily,
Yeah,
so there should be a path from her feet in the dusty stones, right? Jack
yeah.
is a skilled navigator, so he shouldn't have any trouble seeing where she's been.
Okay, so try to find which of the pet might have been carved by Ristin. So you are skilled. Do you risk something?
And not for this. I don't feel like this is the thing that's that risky. I'm just looking.
Okay, so no devil's bargain then, either.
Nah.
Okay, go for it.
So I'm just rolling one light die.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Uh,
Apparently, I cannot see footprints.
Or too
no,
many?
that's not the problem. The problem is that you find way too many footprints, and you think that yeah, whatever Risti has been saying about the young people venturing into the mill to get to the treasure, it seems to be true because you find people have gone through the six of these entrances, and you even find whatever probably is the remain of one of these young people. It is it is turned to a bloody mess. Uh, it seems to be a paste, a complete paste. It's gruesome, and you just look through it and you find that it's all gore and there are no bones there. Give me a ruin check.
So that is me rolling one die trying to beat my ruin. Is that correct?
Yeah, you want to roll under your ruin.
Under. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. All right. I'm hitting the submit and the reroll button, but nothing's happening except one. So I don't think I'm rolling 1 1 1 1 1 over and over. Something is glitched out.
Yeah. Well, let's assume that you made it.
I think it's unlikely that I did. Here, I just cleared everything. Let's see what we get.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 5. So my ruin
Okay.
goes to 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So your ruin increases as you realize that for someone that would sleep, this is not what the corpse would look like, and you you start to hear a flute in the distance. Not Risti's flute, some other flute playing the same melody. You can hear it down one of the tunnels, and you feel something suggesting that you should follow it. Someone trying to charm you.
Is that the same tunnel that has the meat sack?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that tunnel. Not that it matters, I guess. Are you saying that I'm gonna go down that tunnel because I'm being charmed, or are you saying
No. You can hear a melody of a flute being played on that, and the melody is kind of trying to draw you in.
does Risty respond to the melody? Is she like, "Oh, those are my fairies"?
No, and the others too cannot hear the melody either.
Well, then I'm definitely not going that way.
Do you tell the others about this?
Oh yeah. I say there's some spooky flute playing. Do you guys hear that? And I look at Risty because I'm assuming it sounds like hers, but obviously she's not hearing it or disagrees. So
Yeah, and she's not playing her flute now.
yeah,
So
no.
yeah,
But wait,
Actually,
isn't that a
when you
good
mentioned
omen?
that, she actually takes out her flute and plays it the same tune. Is
Is,
it something like this?
is there a call and response from the other flute?
If it keeps playing, but
It doesn't seem to react to her playing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that, Risty.
Oh, then that means that the fairies must be around. Someone must have awakened them.
Is that a good thing?
Well, it depends of what you intend to do. It can be dangerous for you. It means that we need to be careful when taking the treasure. They will probably react. I was hoping that they will be sleeping.
I think we can deal with a few little fairies.
Do we have
Yeah.
any reason to believe that they're little? I'm just looking at the bread that we got there. There's no like, are they big loaves or like really tiny or just normal sized? I'm just wondering if I can get anything about extrapolate the size of who made this bread from it.
I mean, Risi shows you one of the sweet rolls, and they're like this, and they are more or less the size of a hand.
Oh, okay.
Tell me, Risty, what is the fairy's weakness if it comes to having to deal with them? Are they weak to fire, iron, water? You must know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if they are weak. Nobody ever seems to face the fairy and come up with. I think the only way to beat them is to outsmart them and find out what they can and cannot do.
Yeah,
Each
Hmm.
spirit is unique, but they seem
we
to
don't
have a
know about the
penchant
meat
for
sack.
gold.
Oh, so
It's
we
into
don't
like,
know about the meat sack corpse, do we? Only Jack knows.
oh no, I definitely let you guys know that. I mean, I'm right
Ah,
there.
right.
So
Yeah,
What's the god
I'm just
say?
pointing at that and to Orlan and going, I wouldn't underestimate these fairies.
That's true.
Okay,
All right.
but
Well,
perhaps we can take a different route in so that we can either sneak up on them and watch them for a bit. Maybe not go the direct route.
yeah, I agree. Let's not go toward the music.
I'm normally pretty good when it comes to matters of chance. Let me see which one of these passages looks the most likely to go in that direction but around. So it's just my character's kind of skilled in fortune, which is a bit of an odd thing, but I interpret it a little bit as in liking to make little bets and sort of I reckon it's that one or something.
Okay, so you are skilled. What are you risking?
Well, I guess in this case I'm risking everything because I could be horribly wrong, and we're really running into the trap.
Yeah, so devil's bargains, anyone?
we could get lost so that we don't know the way back out before it.
Yeah, I think that the lost thing is the obvious thing.
Yeah, I think that's a great devil's bargain. Either you are right or wrong. You cannot go back.
That sounds great. I will take that. So how do I get the different colors on the dice?
When you create the dice, you can change on the.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
Oh, right. Hang on. Let me. So I want 2 white ones. I think I finally understand this. And 1 black. Or we don't have black.
we have purple.
Go for purple. Yeah. There we are. And then I select
Okay,
them all and re-roll.
Yes.
There we go. Fantastic.
Oh.
Well,
So,
chaps, good news and bad news.
so you follow down that path, growing more and more confident. And as you are making down the path, so Jack, the melody seems to be growing stronger and stronger as you go back that path, even if it was not the direction you are going. So probably, Cassian was right on this pick. Uh, but suddenly you can start to hear rolling stones, and you notice you see the shadow of something, and you see massive stones rolling in, starting a cave in. So you're gonna have to try to rush and try to escape from this collapsing tunnel.
Are we going forward or are we going backward?
Or you are going forward.
Right. So the crushing is coming behind us.
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna try to escape. So who is going to lead them on this hasty retreat?
Um,
And someone has to grab Risty because she cannot run.
yeah. I will snatch up Risty, and I have both navigation and evasion. I don't know if that gives me 2 dice or just 1 dice.
Just one dice,
Okay.
unfortunately.
No worries.
Risks.
I mean, I think we're risking our bodies here.
Mm-hmm.
Just quickly checking. I assume my ruin has gone up by 1 because 5 was my highest ruin die.
Yeah. But we're gonna handle after that. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
gonna give you the condition afterwards. But yes, your ruin is going to increase. So, do you want the devil's bargain?
Yeah, let's see what we got here.
Okay, any ideas?
I think a possible idea is that it closes off not just this tunnel, but other options, so that while we were trying to avoid going toward the music, really the only option left is the singular tunnel that points us to the music. Like we're definitely railroaded to the next shitty spot.
And another potential one, which is quite harsh though, is because you've grabbed Risty, is that maybe you weren't paying attention and she gets caught in some of the rockfall.
Oh, you're trying to make me kill the old lady?
I would never. Yes.
Maybe you just sprained her ankle so she can't walk.
So we have to just keep carrying her?
You have to carry her properly, yeah.
An alternative one is that you break one of your bones, like you break an arm or a leg.
I'm going to stay away from breaking any of me until there's no possible option. I'm not going to take that as a devil's bargain, especially since it's supposed to be successful.
Yeah, that's
me
true.
Running away doesn't feel successful with a broken leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Risty gets hurt in a way in which she stops being helpful.
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and just re-roll the selected, and we'll see what happens. And it doesn't do anything. Damn it. Okay.
It did for me. Try refreshing the page.
Yeah, I just did. Did you guys get anything there?
No.
Okay.
They all disappeared.
2, 1, submit. Okay, there we go. Oh, perfect.
So you escape the cave in, and Risty just is severely hurt, and she inches in pain as her leg is broken, and you are just engulfed by the rock. The other two managed to escape safely, but safely is a relative measure because there's something odd going on on Cassian's body. He looks at the goosebumps and he sees small nubs forming underneath. And as he inspects one of them, something starts to pull across the skin, and it seems to be downy feathers that are sprouting underneath your arms and underneath, well, everywhere you can see. It starts slowly, but you're pretty sure that the goosebumps are starting to produce feathers.
Okay, I'm freaking out a little about that. Can I try and pull one out?
Yes, you can.
Proper goosebump?
Yeah.
Proper goose feather?
Yeah, it's a tiny goose feather.
You'll never lack for pillows.
I try and pull them all out. Like,
You are in the dark, Jack, and a small pocket of air, and you can hear the music, and you feel compelled to dig your way through the music, and slowly and slowly you open a pet, and you are back with the other two, and you are happy until you see their expressions. And you look down and you see that in your effort to dig through the rubble, you must have broken your arm in many different ways, but you did not even, you were so enchanted by the music that you did not notice. And worse, the bones seem to mended together, but they mended together in a weird articulations. Your bones, they feel light and empty as your arms are distended, extremely long.
I have
They reach
wings.
your knees.
I have wings.
No, you have messed up arms that reach to your knees.
How many elbows do I have?
You have three.
3 elbows?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It just looks like it has been broken and reset and broken and reset and extended.
But
It's disquieting.
but now they're kind of healed, right? Like they're still functional arms.
Yeah, they are. They
elbows.
just feel empty. They just feel empty.
oh,
Right.
don't
move
swing
weird.
those things around in front of me. You can hurt someone.
Shut up, Birdman.
Yeah, together it'd be great, right?
Exactly. Give me some of those feathers.
Take a,
Did I bring Risty with me, or is she
Yes. She is being held by your weird arms.
they just wrap all the way around her?
Yeah, and she seems to have problems staying conscious through the pain, and she points one finger down there. I recognize this place. Go down that tunnel.
Oh, now you know the way.
So you follow that way. Well, not that you have many alternatives after the cave in, and you find that Gisty was speaking the truth when she said there was a pit underneath filled with treasure, because there is a massive well. The well is deep, and probably because there are no stairs or something around, it will probably be impossible to get there. But you know that there's someone that got there or gets there, because you can see by lowering your light, you can see the treasure. You can see piles and piles of coins, and you can see so many trinkets, so many ancient things, and you can swear that one of those is one of the gold chalices of the Grand Master of the Nameless Legion, all laying around there, and you can hear
At the bottom of a well, is that right?
Yeah, you see this massive treasure on the bottom of the well, and you can hear the fluttering of wings and honking as you see various geese going around in the middle of the coins and the treasure.
Can I reach them with my super long arms?
No, the well is really deep. And Risty coughs again. Usually, there is no way to descend the wheel, but I think that we can look around for an alternative path. These ruins, they have a way to shifting around.
Oh, now you tell us.
Well, we
Yeah.
did see the shifting. Yeah. But you said in the middle of the coins there was something moving, like something cogs, and
No, it's geese. It's coins, trinkets, and geese.
I
sorry,
think Ritzy is
maybe
like
I
Sorry, could you
misheard.
type that word in the chat? It's geese.
geese, like ducks, but bigger.
Okay. They're moving down. They're running around on the treasure.
Yeah.
I think we should just run a rope down there, climb down. I'm sure I can handle the geese by myself if it comes to it.
Yeah,
And just start whirling up the treasure.
I don't know if I can climb with my crazy cool guy arms.
Cassine freezes a bit. The geese down there, and looking at the feathers that I've grown, right? There is a familiarity there. There is a Orlan. This I don't know if those were always geese.
I'm gonna just gently push Cassian over to the wall and just get him to sit down for a minute. And I'm gonna say, look, I haven't told you two this before, but actually, at one time in my past, I was bitten. I was bitten by a were rat. I was transformed into a beast, half man, half rat. But I was cured. I was cured by the Archbishop of Fort Deering. So don't worry, I'm not gonna let that happen to you. Even if you are transformed, I'll get you out of here, and once we get you back to Fort Deering, you'll be back to normal like I am, and rich.
So you're saying gold can solve the problem? It can solve anything.
Absolutely.
But okay, do you think we should also try and save those geese down there?
No.
But
There's only so much gold to go around.
And there's only so many geese you can carry, especially if you're trying to carry the gold as well.
I was
Tell you what, if the
bitten
geese,
by a goose when I was younger. It just wouldn't let go. It was stuck on the arm, and it's like I swung it around, bashed it. No, it was horrible. Okay, because he's just going to sit there, sort of jittery. Let Orlin deal with this.
Yeah, I look down that well and I see both wealth and food.
So you're gonna try to dive through the hole in the well, or are you trying to find another way in?
I think jumping down it is just certain death. Maybe the rope and the climb, or maybe the alternate route. Those are the only two options that I can think of.
Okay, which one you want to try first?
Well, I know that. Go ahead.
I want to climb down. I don't really trust this Resty and her alternate routes. I think the most direct way is to climb down. But if you two are frightened, or maybe Jack, you think you're not going to be able to climb down, then I suppose we could take the other route.
Hey, Ludo, how sturdy are my super arms?
They feel very light. You are kind of afraid of swinging them too hard.
But do they feel strong? Can I
No.
climb? Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to be able to make the climb.
I mean, it's okay, as if the two of us kind of just hoist
Yeah.
them down.
Yeah, I mean, I can help anchor the rope and stuff like that. Not a problem. But I probably won't be able to climb.
I think it's safer anyway if we stay here. He'll deal with downstairs and fill the sacks, and we pull him up, and then we pull him up.
Yeah, in that order for sure.
All right, I'm gonna tie the rope around my waist, and maybe the others can like hold it and tie it around whatever looks sturdiest, and I'm gonna start abseiling down into the well.
So as you
Ideally, with like if we can wrap it around a rock or something like that, so we can slowly lower him down. Abseil.
Yeah, I mean, we can just wrap it around me, and I'll just turn in a circle and unwind it like I'm a winch.
So as you start trying to make your descent, and the well is weird, it's slippery because you can see that there are on the sides of the well there are slippery and noxious plants growing around it, and they are filled with some slow and stupid flies, and they just fly everywhere around you, and just the stone is already there are no places where you can find footing, but whenever you lean your feet they just seem to sleep, and always these flies harassing you. And as you go down, keep trying to not sleep, you can see an axios bird underneath flopping around on the floor, waving its wings, trying to fly, but their body is too heavy, so they are not able to lift off from the gold. But they seem to be growing increasingly nervous as you climb down. So you are skilled. So what are you risking?
I think I'm risking my body because if I fall, there's certainly a risk.
How about devil's bargain?
Sure, I'll take a devil's bargain as well.
Suggestions?
Yeah, you said these flies and flying around. I feel like maybe they could be getting into the crevices of the armor and biting and laying eggs, and something fun for later.
Yeah, you don't have any feathers yet. You need some larvae.
Ew, gross. So do you want this?
The flies are going to lay eggs in my armor. Sure.
Ew.
No, not in your armor. In your skin, under the armor.
I mean, I will take that, but that seems a bit close to taking ruin. But I don't know.
True. How about this? How about that? No matter what you do, the geese get spooked and go honking on random directions, alerting people.
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead. 2 lights and 1 dark.
I wonder. Okay, so I've got 2 ones with numbers. It's going to be my light dice, and the one with the pips is going to be my dark die. So, I succeeded, but I'm going to take more ruin. So now would be the time for the flies to lay eggs.
Was not the middle one the dark one?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Yeah, you don't take ruin. You just have a regular partial success, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
we
going
get
to
to
replace
success with
the
the
die.
complication. So with all this sleeping, you somehow you manage, but the problem is as you have to kind of go sleeping across the well, and as you go that you have to rotate the rope, and you don't get rope burn because of the gauntlets, but you twirl so many times that you just hear a snap. Thankfully, it's just snap when you are 2 feet away from the gold pile, so you just land in the middle of the gold, foot well planted, and you stabilize yourself. And the geese just come around you, they enter in panic, and they start flopping their rings, and they disappear down the tunnel going onk, 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 onk. That's when every one of you hears the melody. The same tone, delicate, playful, played by a deftly hands on a bone flute. All of you can hear it.
I look at Risty. It's not her playing it, right?
No, she can barely keep her eyes open.
Well, it's no shock to me. I'm not even sure those guys are hearing it because I've been hearing it the whole time. So
Yeah.
to me, it's no change.
Yeah, for me, it's. However, I hear the melody.
Oh, now you hear it. Okay. I'm not crazy.
So pulling up the rope, going, oh man. I would have a spare. Well, we each had a rope, right?
Oh,
So
yeah, we've got lots of rope.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I'll tie my big sack onto the end of the rope and lower it down. Get shoveling quick! I'm hearing weird noises.
I can hear it too. I'm gonna start shoveling gold and stuff into my sack, and the first thing I'm gonna grab is that goblet from the Nameless Legion.
You reach for the goblet,
no.
and you secure this beautiful trophy. But there's something weird. Why is it gold? You were pretty sure that these goblets were made of silver. But yes, it is gold now. And it's truly gold. You test it, you bite it, it's gold. And it's the symbol of the Nameless Legion. Why is it gold?
No time to worry about that now. I'm just gonna stuff it in the sack.
So, what are the two above you doing?
Does the melody get louder, or does it come from a particular direction?
It seems to be coming from a particular direction.
Getting closer.
I'm gonna. What I'd like to do is here. Hold this for a moment, Jack. Giving you the rope, and I will wander over to Risty and go. Look, you're in pain. I'm going to put you somewhere a bit more comfortable, and I'm going to carefully pick her up and put her in the direction of where the sound is coming from. Like if it's in a tunnel, I put her inside the tunnel, ideally just around the corner, so that whatever is coming this way would see her first and perhaps think not to look any further. And because I'm skilled at hiding, I would, if there's a boulder I can put up so that again, if someone came this way, would see her and they wouldn't necessarily see us on like a bit further down. Basically, I'm putting her up as an offering and a distraction.
As you're doing that, she opened her eyes and she extends one hand to Jack as if to ask you to not do this.
It's like, no, I'm just putting you more comfortable. You're in pain here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just holding the rope. You'll be fine. We'll pick you up in a minute. We just don't want you to get caught by whoever's coming up from this well.
Yeah, I'll try and convince her that we're doing this for her own good.
Okay.
It's really the kindest thing.
Yeah, I was going to re-risk. So, because you're not convincing only her, even if you think so. So you are skilled. So what are you risking?
Really, I'm risking my mind here because this is quite an evil thing I'm doing here.
Yeah. Do you want the devil's bargain?
Well, what do people suggest?
I think she probably just starts screaming as much as she can with her last breaths or her little whiny breaths.
But that would mean I wouldn't be successful in convincing her that this was for her own good.
Yeah, good point. Okay.
My suggestion would be that if you do this, you might convince her, but you might not have convinced the forest spirits that have a deal with her. So that will be the devil's bargain. The spirits are not buying it.
No. That also goes against what I'm trying to do. So I go without the devil's bargain.
Can
Okay.
I suggest a devil's bargain?
Go ahead.
So you're trying to kind of like put a boulder there to hide us. So my devil's bargain is that that like the boulder you push is a bit too big and it cuts you off from Resty. So even if you've convinced her that it's for her own good, you've blocked her off from the rest of the party.
Like it gets wedged in place somehow.
Yeah.
And she's blocked off from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So
Okay.
go ahead.
Let's roll. All right. I don't get ruined for a change.
Yeah. So you managed to convince Risti, and she seemed appeased. In fact, she is mumbling something important. Whatever you do, don't ever the goose, and she just falls unconscious again.
Don't ever. What was that?
Don't ever the goose, and she just goes off.
The goose.
And you get the feeling that she was training to say this, so it was probably very important.
Yeah. Something with the geese that we
Yeah.
mustn't do. Don't ever harm the geese. Yeah.
Don't ever trust the geese.
Don't ever
Uh,
eat. Oh.
that's when the entire tunnel begins to shake. And you realize that it is threatening to move more stones and to collapse more of the tunnels. And worse, there is a rhythm to these movements, like a massive millstone working. You can hear between the melody and something grinding. And this working is so strong that it seems to be shaking all of the ruins.
I'm
Quick,
heading right
throw me
back
down
to
the road.
the well.
I mean, I'm holding onto a rope here. I don't really have anywhere to go unless I'm just going to abandon ship.
Maybe we should kneel down so we're not likely to fall into the pit just from the movement.
Yeah, Arlene, you know that you are relatively stable where you are. So if they were to join you somehow, they will probably be safe.
No, I've got a sack full of gold now, so I'm gonna throw that over my back and I'm gonna start climbing up the rope that the other two are holding.
But the rope snapped.
No, we put another one down with
Oh,
the
yeah.
sack.
Yeah. So you're going to be trying to make with the gold as you try to make your way up. Okay. So it's again, you are skilled. What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to climb up back to the top of the well, and I'm risking my body. And I will take a devil's bargain if anyone has an idea.
I was going to suggest actually shouting down, saying, "No, just put the bag on. We'll pull it up, and then we'll throw it back down. And you can fill it up again."
You can shout all you want. I'm coming up.
I think that his hands will be so rope burned that he can't make the trip again.
Well, yeah, but I think that makes sense. That because as you are trying to do this while everything is shaking, I'm gonna say that maybe some of the stones of the upper floor could break in and they block the well, so that they are no longer able to break through the well. So they will have to go around. That will fit the same place, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that bargain. As long as I'm still going to be on.
I still have your treasure if you succeed.
Yeah. So that's 2 light dice and 1 dark die. Roll them.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so you managed to climb aptly, and despite your effort, you managed to get a bag full of gold. You managed to get the cap of the Grand Master of the Nameless Legion. And sure, some stones are rolling in the well and it's blocked, cannot squeeze through. But hey, you get a quite nice share of treasure.
And up here, it's still the sound of the grinding sound is still going on, right?
Oh, it's still going on, and still there's still the threat of more stones rolling in.
So we need to beat feet.
Yeah. Look.
Got
All
the
in,
treasure. Let's get out of here.
yeah. Risty didn't make it, I'm afraid.
You for a while after the millstone starts to grind again, you see the same mist, the same shulky mist that you found when you started going into the ruins. It starts to get everywhere, and there's something else mixed in. There is the air smells burnt, and you put a piece of cloth in front of your nose, and then you realize that there is a lot of blackened ash clinging to it. It seems like the air is getting filled with chalk and ash.
Can we still see okay?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
At least in the distance of your light source.
I'm going to put like a scarf around my nose and mouth to try and stop breathing too much of that in.
I would like to try and use a ritual.
Oh, go on. Which one?
So my ritual is that I can trade favors with a colony of vermin. So my theory is that if this is like a mill and there's a lot of flour and bread around, then there's probably rats. And because I was once transformed into a rat, I know the language of rats and I can communicate with them.
Okay, so let's cast that. So, yeah. So you are skilled on this because of your background, and you're gonna have to use the dark dice. Do you want a devil's bargain?
Yeah.
The rats want blood. Not necessarily a lot, but definitely some blood.
Or some of the rats will keep following you around wherever you go.
Ooh.
I like that the rats will follow me wherever I go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Do you want to take it?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So how many dice do I have? I have one. Am I skilled in this?
Yes, because of your background.
Okay. And am I risking my mind and body because it's a ritual?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got 3 dice. Roll them. Nice.
So you bait the mice, and indeed there's a lot of mice that just coming in, and their paws are whitened by chalk, or their fur is blackened by ash, and they assembling around you. In fact, they start claiming your armor and nibbling on your ear as if they are telling you secrets. So, what is the exchange that you propose?
Well, I want to ask him to show us the way out of here. And I specify it has to be a way out that humans can fit through.
They seem very uncomfortable with this. They say, yeah, we can find it. But we need you to stop the music.
What do you mean stop the music?
The music drives us mad. And we have to risk listening to it as we go to nibble in the bread. If you stop the music for us, we'll gladly take you on.
Well,
Can they
come
take
on,
us
if I can stop you to
safely
get out of
music?
here.
Sorry, I did not understand because Jack was saying something. So what do you say to the mice?
Can you show us how to? Can you take us safely and show us how to ambush the one who's playing the music?
Oh yes, I'll show you around. In fact, we will always show you around, and that's when they linger around you and stay close.
All right, I turn to my human companions and I say, "Look, the rats are gonna help us get the drop on these. I don't know if they're fairies or whoever it is playing the music." And I think the three of us, we're all skilled fighters. If we have the advantage of surprise, we'll kill whoever it is, and then in return, the rats will help us escape. What do you think?
I mean, speak for yourself, but I haven't wielded a blade for properly for many years. However, I could probably bargain with the musicians for their flute.
Ooh, I don't know
It's
about
probably
that.
worth a try.
Well, if the rats won't do it without leading us into further danger, I can cast a guide ritual that will guide us out. Maybe, assuming it goes well.
So as you are talking, the rats scurry towards one direction, and they seem to all to cluster around something down the tunnel.
I mean, I think it'd be good if we tried bargaining first, because there'll be another treasure to take with us, a fairy flute.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What do we have to trade? I mean, are we just going to give up all the gold? Because you know they're going to want the gold.
Well, I don't know. I have my sack of spices. I have a lot of interesting exotic things in there that I might be interested in.
Yeah, could be. There's plenty more gold left. They probably don't have much paprika.
Yeah, I mean, they already have the gold that we've come here to steal, so can't really trade that back to them anyway.
If this is a medieval world, then your paprika is probably worth more than the gold.
Exactly. Some salt.
All right, I'm happy for you to go and try and trade, but I'm going to stay lurking in the shadows. And if the trade doesn't go well, I want you to lure them into a spot where I can strike them, because I don't know if they're going to be amenable to a trade.
If it doesn't go well, I'll say the passphrase. Oh my! It's certainly chalky in here, and then you'll know I need. Yeah. The deal's off.
All right, let's follow the rats.
So you follow the rats and you see what they are all around, and they are nibbling on another pile of organs and meat, completely boneless. And this is even more disquieting because this is a large pile. There is not a single bone. There are a bunch of goose feathers around. And even more distressing is as you cast your lantern there, you can see big golden big golden nuggets lying in the middle of the gore. So everyone do me a ruin check.
Do we have to roll over or under ruin?
Under. If you roll over or equal, you get ruin.
Okay. I'll take a pink die. That will be my roll. Okay, so I rolled over.
I rolled over as well.
I rolled equal.
Okay. So equal you don't go. That's only when you get to ruin as part of a risk roll. So you just see these gold nuggets on the middle there, and he, Orlin, you feel strain in your eyes as you look at the gold, and you can you look at your hands, and you can see that you can see through your skin. Your skin is becoming transparent. You can see the bones and the muscles, and more important, just like you see nuggets on the mess, you start to see gold dust underneath your skin, embedded in your muscles and your bones. You feel that there is gold everywhere just under your skin. And it's not only your perception, others can see it too. And they see when they cast light on you, they can see your transparent skin, they can see your muscles all soaked in gold.
You never told us you were made of gold, Orlan.
I'm not made of gold. What are you talking about?
Look, it's there. It's gold dust in your muscles. It's like a gold vein.
You think you believe the illusions of the fairies? You must be out of your mind.
And Orly, that's when you notice that Kaiden has been sweating under the lantern light, and there is a shine to the sweat, and you realize that he's sweating liquid gold, that he's leaving a golden trail as it goes down his brow.
Oh, come on, let's go. It's hot in here.
I'm gonna run my finger along his arm and see if I can get some molten gold on my finger. I think you're muted.
And Jack, you can see this. You can see as Orlin grows sickly and pale, and there seems to be gold nuggets lodged within his bones and muscles. And you can see as the guy seems to be sweating gold.
Yeah, like even if we lose the money, we're still rich because this guy is basically just going to be our bank.
He's going to be the goose that sweats the golden eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm quite worried about this, but honestly, sweating the gold is better than having to cut yourself open to get it out. Okay, let us not linger in this horrible place. Does this affect our ruin as well? Not having made this roll.
Yeah. If you got over, you increase your ruin by 1, and you get these conditions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sweating gold.
Yeah. So you go deeper into the mill, trying to find a way out. And the mice take the lead. Does any of you take the nuggets that were on the viscera?
So the nuggets were like inside this corpse.
This pile of meat, boneless meat, yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, I want to grab.
We don't need any more.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the meatless gold that we've already got.
The
vegan
liking
gold.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the music becomes very loud, and you are in what seems to be like a giant kitchen. There are massive ovens, like you could cook an army inside that oven, and it's burning like a furnace. This place is just wretchedly warm. You can just, your bones age with the warmth of the ovens. Cassian, you are sweating so much that your entire clothing is gold now. It's heavy, it's awkward, and it's so valuable.
I'm going to try and take some of the bottles from my bag and pour out the water inside of them and try and strain my clothing gold into them.
Yeah, and
Who needs water?
yeah, the smell of warm bread is everywhere, and there is this substance that cakes everything. Seems to be a powdery residue, some mix of white, black, red, and gold. That it's everywhere. It seems to be clinging to every surface. And you see so many geese going around, honking furiously as waving around, and you hear a scream of a man on the middle of the geese.
Okay, can we see this man or just hear the scream?
You just heard the scream.
And can we still hear the music?
You can. The music is extremely loud here.
Okay. Can I rush towards the man, kicking geese out of the way if necessary?
Do the mice have anything to say about where we're headed here? Are they stopped? Or are they still moving? Or
The mice are trying to circle the large kitchen. They are taking the long route out. They are avoiding the geese and the oven.
Yeah, maybe one of you wants to stop me doing what I'm about to do then.
As you're starting to do that, you see a monstrous hand appear out of one of the bridges. The music stops for a second, and you see it land where you heard the scream, grab 2 or 3 geese, and just disappear. And the music resumes. Every one of you must make a ruin roll.
Okay, I'll do the pink one again. I roll under, yeah.
That's another ruin for me. I'm just going to plug in my headphones, but let me know if sometimes it causes like a scratchy noise.
So what were the results?
I rolled under my ruin.
I rolled over my ruin.
And Jack? Jack?
do you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Yes.
Yeah, I rolled over.
Okay. So,
I'm up to 4 now.
yeah. So you found this hand is just taking geese and just shoveling them, and you get this horrible, horrible sense that you're going to be next. And you realize that as the hand appears again, Kaisen, that the scream was from a twisted goose man that was screaming in the shadows, and until it stops because the hand crushes its neck between 2 fingers. And you realize, Jack, that you're gonna be next. That hand will just grab you like the other of the geese. And this realization, you notice that your long arms are becoming wings, and your fingers, they stop moving as you start sprouting more and more feathers, and you are just able to wave them like wings, but you are still too heavy to lift off.
Finally.
Orlin, you feel your armor crushing you, and you just feel a massive growth, a massive swelling in your belly as it's straining you, and it's the pain is massive. It's like something is trying to come through, but between the soft part of your meat and the steel of your iron, it is going in the wrong direction.
I'm gonna unbuckle my breastplate and take it off and see if I can strip down and see what's going on with my stomach.
Yeah, it starts to rip your clothes, and then you see a massive growth underneath your skin, pushing, and it's enormous and it's terribly heavy. It's like the biggest lump of gold that you ever seen, and seems to be pushing through your flesh. What do you do?
Um, I guess I'm just gonna just really strain to pass it as quickly as I can.
Do you try to force it open somewhere to cut your
Um,
skin, or you just try to force it?
I'm just kind of forcing it like it's like a kidney stone. Just gotta
Yeah,
push it out.
and it's just you can hear muscle and skin stretching, and then all of you just see this massive egg-like nugget just fall with a golden thud, and it's worth half of a city.
Orlin, we are so rich.
Yeah, and as soon as Cassie says that, you start to feel the pain again. So the hand keeps blanking out geese, and you can see the mice on one end.
Yeah, we should move though. Let's pick up
We should get
the
out of
egg.
here. And
Yeah, for sure. Let's hoof it.
I'm not gonna grab the egg because I have a feeling that there's more where that came from. But
I'm grabbing it.
Cassian can have that egg.
I'll wash it later.
So you push through the massive ovens, and you can barely hear each other over the loud sound of a massive millstone. And there you can see the shade, the massive shade that seems to mess with it seemed to mesh with the ruins itself, with granite skin, and you can see a massive bone flute that seems to be made of the bones of countless frozen dead. And on the tip of the flute, there is the banner of the Nameless Legion. And between, as the thing makes the millstone move with its feet, it's a massive feat. You can see that one by one, the the hand that got the geese just squeezes them until the bones fall into millstone, and it keeps grilling the bones as they become this light flour. You can see that after that there is a pool uh, that is accumulating in the floor where you have all the fleshy meat, but then you see so much gold, liquid gold falling from the mesh, and there is this massive tank, this well, where there's this deep cistern, that you recognize as the cistern of the old fort, that is filled to the brim with gold, an endless amount of gold, just dripping everywhere, soaking everything. And there is the monstrosity that is working the meal, squeezing the geese, and playing the flute that still has not noticed you.
How tall is this flute?
It's the size of a townhouse.
Well, that's going to not be very easy to carry.
So I have a ritual that I can bind a person or animal in place. There seems to be no scale to any of this, but I propose alakazam, abracadabra, lock that guy in place so we can fill our pockets with any more of this gold juice and then hoof it. And I guess we could also destroy the flute once he's frozen in place to make the
Okay.
light.
So try the ritual then.
Yeah, so I have not done one of these yet. So I roll one for skill, one for ritual. Is that it? I guess I could take a devil's bargain.
Yes. Do you want the devil's bargain?
Propose one. My guess is that I'm reluctant to take it, condition that we're in now. But go ahead and propose one.
Sorry, I don't have one like that.
So you're doing a ritual to bind the creature in place.
Sorry, I just missed a minute there. Where do we get up to?
We're just coming up with
Jack
a
is doing a
devil's
ritual.
bargain.
I'm going to try and freeze the giant in place, and then we can destroy the flute and beat feet.
Okay, I definitely want to try and grab that that banner of the Nameless Legion. That's really worth more to me than the gold, because that's like my honor as a knight. Is I've been entrusted with a quest to retrieve that banner.
I have a suggestion of a devil's bargain. You recognize one of the greaves that has been picked by the hand, but is still not been squished. You see that the goose is wearing a diadem that you recognize as belonging to Ellie, the relative of
Crazy cousin Ellie.
Yeah, crazy cousin Ellie. So you think that is probably Goose Ellie? I'm gonna give that as a devil's bargain.
Yeah, no worries. I will take that. Okay, so 2 light, 1 dark.
Yep.
Well, hooray! But my ruin die was higher, so I'm up to 5.
Yeah. So it works. It works amazingly. The millstone grinds to a halt as the foot is locked. One hand is raised with 2 goose trapped within, and the flute dies on the creature's lips. Now, you feel that there's something invading you as you open yourself to the powers of the spirits here. And it becomes clear the next time that you turn to the others and try to speak. And what do we say to the others?
Caw, caw.
No, what do you say to the others?
You mean, am I talking to them about the plan, or am I talking to them about the spirits entering me?
I would say, what do you say to them once you see that your ritual worked?
Oh, destroy the flute. I don't know how long I can hold him.
So you hear honking. Everyone hears honking. The worst part is that you can understand perfectly. So yeah, Jack is honking at you, but you understand exactly what he means.
I have an idea for destroying the flute. Because it's massive, the size of a town hall and made of bone, it's going to be tricky. What I want to do is assemble an effigy of a person, like from stone or whatever is lying around, quite
Gold.
a big gold, yeah, quite a big, tall thing, and then instill life into it with my ritual, so that it may rise up and smash the flute, and hopefully not smash the banner.
A thing important to point out, Jack, because your ruin is at 5, now you can mess with other people and destroy treasure to lower ruin.
Okay, good to know. And Am I fully a bird now, or I still just have the wings?
You have the wings and you honk.
Okay, but I'm basically human with wings
Yeah.
and a lovely singing voice.
Yes.
That's good.
So, what are you trying to do with the effigy?
Yeah, I'm trying to make the effigy so it's big and strong enough to break the flute.
So, try to make a gold effigy. Okay. So,
Yeah.
are you skilled in this?
I don't think so. Not really.
Okay. So, you're gonna roll with.
But I will take a devil's bargain if offered,
Yeah.
if a good one, and I'm definitely risking my my mind doing this.
The devil's bargain that I'm gonna give is that the effigy is not under your control, but has distraction on the mind. So it will destroy the flute. It's not clear what it's going to do next.
That's fair. I wasn't really thinking beyond that. So yeah.
So you have a light and a dark.
Two whites. Oh no, sorry, one. I'll just add them and then I'll roll.
Mm-hmm.
Purple not coming up. Oh, there it is. One light, one dark. Roll. Okay, partial success.
What is your ruin?
Sorry. Because my ruin. My ruin is now 5 after that roll.
Oh yeah. So you get a partial success. You assemble an effigy, and it is strong, but it's like twice the size of a human being, and it starts climbing the monstrosity and starts to disassemble the flute, starts hammering at it. The first thing that does is it floods the hole with gold, so it stops the singing, leaving it stuck. So it has not destroyed it yet, but so far it's filled with gold, and unless it's cleaned, it's going to be stuck. And as you are trying to move away from the golden pit where you created the effigy, you notice that you lost your boots and that your feet, they seem to arcade weirdly, and they have seemed to grow smaller and webbed.
My favorite boots.
Yeah, so Orlin, you see the entire flute grow warm, and you are afraid that the banner is going to catch fire.
Can I like maybe jump or climb up onto the flute and try and get to the banner?
Yes, you feel very heavy as there is gold coming out from you everywhere, but you are still skilled in athletics, so go ahead.
All right, I'm going to risk my mind and body. Well, mainly my body, I'd say. So let's see. Where's the dark one?
You want a devil's bargain?
Yes, I would like a devil's bargain. Does anyone have any suggestions?
For climbing.
You're climbing up the flute, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that when the flute tips over, is the goal to tip the flute over and shatter it? Is that kind of what we're going for here? When you
I'm
He
just
wants the
trying to
banner.
get the banner.
Oh, the banner. Okay, then I think that what happens is when you get to the banner, the flute will tip over, which is what we want because it'll shatter the flute, but you'll end up in a place that's separate from us, like maybe separated by some of the big gold puddle that you can't traverse through without getting burned or something. So we'll be separated.
Yeah, that can be a good devil's bargain, that you're going to be separated from the group no matter what.
I'll take that.
Okay, so go for it.
So 2 light, 1 dark.
Hey, Ludo, does
Yep.
that count as sabotaging the rest of the party
How you plan to sabotage it?
by doing the devil's garden that makes him go somewhere?
No, because that
Is
is
that
not
not a
Jack
direct action
doing.
from Jack
It
too?
would have to be something direct by Jack.
Gotcha.
So I got a 5 on my dark die, so I guess that's a partial success and also more ruin for me.
Yeah. So you get the banner, and how do you feel when you have it within your hands?
Oh, I've been looking for this banner for years. It's the quest that I've been sent on to atone for the corruption that happened to me when I became aware at. So it's really this is like my moment of absolution.
And that's when you become able to see everything. You no longer just see the banner. It's like you start to see the universe on new ways. You start to see the sacred geometries underlying everything, the wheels within wheels. Suddenly you understand that everything is a millstone. And you are either the one running the millstone or you are being grinded into bread.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
so you
perfect sense, actually.
yeah, so you get that condition, and you get the banner, and you get your ruin higher now. And the partial part is that now you are separated from the other groups, and the monstrosity starts to twitch, and you understand that the ritual is not going to last for much longer. And the flute is stuck, but it's still not destroyed. So what do any of the others do?
I will attempt to convince the effigy to try harder to destroy it. To really say, look, you can do it. Just wriggle around there a bit more and tip it over. Yeah, essentially.
Okay, so you are trained on this. Do you risk anything?
Well, it could be falling into the wrong way. I'm certainly happy to risk the life of my companion Orlan should the flute fall onto him, and that would be an unfortunate accident. I don't think that counts as a risk. That's not me risking anything.
No.
That's me trying to sabotage now. So, but yeah, I'll risk the danger of it falling.
And Devil's Bargains, do you want?
Sure.
Suggestions? My suggestion will be that the effigy wants to know something more than destruction, and it wants to get a life of its own.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
2 whites and a dark. All right. And a 6. And my ruin roll is equal to my current ruin.
But it's not the highest.
It's not my highest now.
Yeah. So yeah, you managed to inspire the effigy, and with renewed sense of purpose, it commits a great sacrifice, and it's almost destroyed itself on the process, but it infiltrates the gold and cracks the flute, and it just breaks, and a mass pile of skeletons land near you, disappear under the heavy molten gold. And the effigy approaches you, vastly diminished. It's now the size of a small child, and it's trying to follow you. So, what does Jack do?
Jack is going to take advantage of all this extra work and the gigantic zit nugget that was popped earlier. He's going to kick it into the
the rest of the mush and just get rid of it.
Okay, so reduce your ruin to 4.
Yay!
So
Now I just talk like a normal person again, right?
yeah. So as you weaken the connections to the forest, also you can hear the mill working again, and you can see that the foot of the monstrosity is already moving again. You are out of time. What do you do?
We gotta get moving.
I sort of shout over. Which way, Orlan?
The mice are doing their part of the deal, and they are taking you through a massive mice hole above the millstone.
And are they heading that way despite Orlan being stuck, separated from us?
They are. But the thing is, it's actually easier for Olin to get to that hole.
Okay.
And they're bargaining with Olin. You will be the ones that are going to have trouble getting there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look around, see if there's a way to get there.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's difficult, is there a path we can take it? I am a skilled navigator and skilled at evasion. So either way.
So Warland, you managed to get there easily. You are following on the tunnel of the mice. The others too, you are trying to navigate it, and you find that there is a way, but you cannot see from this side the opening. You kind of need someone else on the other side to guide you, because you can hear music. And it's not the giant, and it's the same melody, and you realize that it's Risty playing the music from the other side of the wall.
Okay, that's creepy. But I guess we follow it.
I think Risty was behind this whole thing all the time. Jobone was right. So we're making our way toward the music, or we're trying to find somebody else? I mean, there isn't anybody else unless Orland can kind of backtrack and flag us over somehow.
I think I'm just gonna run with the rats.
You son of a bitch.
So
he's got a big bag of loot as well.
A bag of gold.
All I've got is this gold egg. Wait, where's the gold egg?
Yeah, not even that. Well, at least you have the bottle of sweat.
I have the bottle of gold sweat, yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you try to find your own path, or you try to follow the music?
I try and follow the music.
I'm gonna try and find. Well, I have a ritual, a guide. In fact, I'm gonna go with my guide ritual just to get the hell out. Period.
Okay, so you are skilled and you have that ritual. Do you want the devil's bargain?
No, let me just go for it.
Okay.
Clear. Just plain old 2d6. Partial.
And what was the highest?
4.
Which was the dark one or not?
Oh, I didn't roll a ritual dark one. Sorry.
Okay.
I was just rolling 2 white dice. My bad.
No.
Yep, I'll clear it.
Okay.
Or I'll just, hold on, let me just add a ritual die, because otherwise I'll defeat this one. So, let's add that one. Submit. So my highest die is my ritual die, and it is a 5.
Okay, so you get an increase on ruin.
Back up to 5.
Yes, and you find a pet that it's barely visible from here, but if you can lean there, you can make through. What you realize is that Kaysen is not only sweating blood. You see the bruises and the ones that we have, and you can see that he's very flesh his very blood is becoming gold. And he does not seem to have noticed this yet, but you can say it.
Oh, I'm not going to tell him.
Yeah. So you find the pet, and soon you are rejoined by Risi. And the thing with Risi is that she is walking.
Yeah. She's behind this whole thing. She's a dirty traitor.
Am I there as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look, it's a miracle. The rest worked. You're much better.
She keeps playing the flute as she leads you towards the exit. Or does she?
Well, my golden thread leads me toward the exit.
Yes, it does. It is that path, but as she passes in front of Casey, she stops for a moment to sing and she starts to say, break the arms, and looks at Jack and then proceeds.
She told me to break Jack's arms.
Well, that's not very nice of her. I disagree entirely with that course of action.
Yeah, I mean, that feels unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree. Completely unnecessary. To hell with her. This is all her fault anyway. She clearly set us up.
When she says that, does she exert any kind of influence over me, or is it just straight saying that?
No, it's just a statement of dread.
Okay. It's like, no, that's ridiculous. Can we see Orlan?
Yeah, Orlan, you made your way out of the path, and you are holding the banner of the Nameless Legion. And
Gold.
the sack of gold. And the cup of the Grandmaster. And you are in the middle of what was once the courtyard of the fort of the Nameless Legion. Landing on the bent back of the mill. And the walls rise in every direction, and you have the main tower of the Legion standing over you. You can see the blue sky overhead. And you know that if you are able to escape these walls, you're gonna leave this ruin. But you're growing heavy by the minute. And as you realize the sacred geometries of this place, you know that conventional means of climbing will not work, not in your conditions. And the mice leave, having done their part of the job. You're out, but can you really make out?
Well, I think I'm looking around at these stones, and now I can see the gap between every stone. There's like a space where stuff can be milled. So I'm gonna drop some of my treasure. I need to drop some of this dead weight. I don't really what I need is the banner. So I'm gonna take my gold and the goblet, and I'm gonna just like drop it through the cracks between the stones, and it's just gonna be like ground into gold dust. Because it's like I can see the right spot to drop it that will make it get ground up into the millstones.
So you destroy the treasure. Your ruin goes to 4.
Cool.
You start to get a better notion. You suddenly feel more yourself and not having this twisted vision of the world. And suddenly the despair that consumed you is gone. And you think you can make it now. I think you think you can climb. Are you willing to try to climb it back?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick the banner tight on my back as best I can, and I'm gonna start climbing over the wall.
Okay. So you are skilled. What are you risking?
Risking my life and my body.
Do you want a devil's bargain?
Yes.
Obviously, he drops the banner.
No, that's all good.
Then the cup, the chalice.
I already ground the chalice
Oh,
into
yeah.
dust.
Yeah.
All you kept was the banner?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the devil's bargain is that you find out what happened to the Nameless Legion.
Okay, brilliant. So that's 3 dice. Okay, so I got a partial success with my dark die.
So you make halfway into the keep of the Nameless Legion, and you find yourself in the hall of the Grand Master, and you see its share, and you see a bound book of the Legion there, and you flip through the last pages, and you perceive that you see the notes, and you see how they were how invaders used a bargain with the forest to take down the river, and how they tried to resist, but they were fighting a losing battle, and that on an act of despair, without any food, with so many corpses all around, the Grand Master made a bargain with the spirits of the forest. They offered their service in exchange for bread. And the last words on the binder are, "And for all my cursed doom, and for all my regret, the spirits kept the bargain." As you hear those words resounding on your head, you can feel your entire mouth stretching as your fused teeth seem to be growing another row of teeth, and your fused teeth twist into a beak, and you realize that you are still not free, that you still need to make one last sacrifice. So your ruin is now 5. Let's get to the others. You make your ways to the courtyard, just as you see 2 things. You see a crack in the floor, and you see a vast treasure of gold just disappearing in between the cracks. And you see Orlin expertly climbing the main tower of the keep of the Nameless Legion and entering one of the windows. So what do the 2 of you do?
Repeating that.
Sorry, what? You were voting.
Yeah, you broke up there.
Okay, no problem. Oh. Come on.
So
Can you put it on text? What you asked?
does my golden thread just keep going? Because it was supposed to go all the way out. Does it go all the way?
Yeah. It goes. It is telling you into the main keep and then out. So you think that there might be a secret passage into the keep, otherwise the thread will not list it.
Yeah, I'm planning on following that thread. So I don't know if.
Yeah, sorry, I missed the sentence where you described what Orlin was doing or what he looked like.
Oh, Orlin looks normal. He was just entering on one of the windows of the keep.
Okay. Then I can't reach down into the crevice where the treasure has fallen down.
You can
Can I?
try. How
Uh,
do you do it?
yeah, I'm just looking. I mean, they're going to the keep. That's easy to follow. I'll just stop for a moment and see if I can get some more treasure out of there. Yeah.
Your effigy child is standing near you as you try to get more of the gold back.
What is he doing?
He's just staring at you with no eyes.
Okay. Help me, I say. I can remake you into your bigger self if we can get some more of this gold.
Okay, so give me a convince.
Okay, so I'll just do a single die on this.
Okay, no risks.
5.
So, trusting on you, the effigy goes through the cracks, becomes liquid once again, and slowly floats back the treasure in coins and the goblet of the Grandmaster. And you
I
are,
don't know what that is, but it's gold, so that's cool.
yeah, it's all gold. So you managed to get everything that Orlin has sacrificed. The thing is, your effigy is not coming back. You can see it leaking without purpose to disperse it to come back. What do you do?
I've learned since I first cast this ritual that you should never get attached to your effigies. So I gather up all the gold and leave, and surely that'll be the end of that, and I'll never hear anything bad coming back from that.
Okay, so Jack, how are you trying to find the secret passage?
Well, I have that string, the magic golden thread that just leads me where I need to go. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going, like, if there's a secret passage, it's going into the wall.
Oh yes, you find the small creases, and you can find the air coming out easily. You found the passage. The thing is,
You just have to figure out how to open it.
yes, it's solid stone. It's it's perfectly part of the keep. And what is the mechanism to open it?
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll examine the whole room. I don't know that I'm technically skilled in this. I am skilled in deception and navigation, so maybe both of those have some application.
Yeah, I could see a case for both. So you are skilled for sure.
Okay.
Do you risk anything?
Well, I think this is a bit of a brain teaser, so I'll roll my mind on this one too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Any ideas for a devil's bargain?
I'd be happy to hear what anybody has to say.
My suggestion for a devil's bargain is that Orlin becomes aware of your presence and you opening the passage before you do.
No worries. I mean, we're all friends.
Okay.
Yeah, my suggestion was going to be that it takes a little time and Cassine catches up. But again, no problem.
I got a 6 on a white dice. A white dice.
That's good. That's very good.
There's a switch just right here. I just pushed this button.
Yeah. So yeah, you find a loose stone and you start to crank a switch and it starts moving and it's noisy. And Orlin, you can hear a door opening on the first floor. What do you do?
So I've just read this book. Well, look, I'm shattered to learn that the Nameless Legion would allow themselves to be transformed by the spirits. You know, like I've fought my whole life to get away from this evil transformation, and now to find out that this is how they ended. To be honest, the door opening, it doesn't really register with me. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a stairway to take me to the top of the keep. And when I get to the top of the keep, what I want to do is set fire to the banner, because I don't think it's worth anything after all.
Your ruin goes down to 4, and you start to feeling yourself human. In fact, you're starting to feel yourself more human than you have ever felt, even before you were bitten by the rat.
Great.
So,
Hey, Luda,
uh,
have I just gone through this secret passage?
yeah.
Am I just there by myself at this point?
I think that's when Cassian sees the door opening and you going there. So, Cassian, what do you do when the secret passage is open?
Yeah, well, I climb through the window into the keep and go like, you found a way out. Excellent. I got gold.
I was just wondering if that secret passage could just swing shut behind me before anybody else made it through.
I think that depends on what Cassian, if Cassian makes it on time. So I would say that is certainly skill because of either fortune and hiding. So are you willing to risk anything?
In order to get to the passage in time.
Yeah, before it closes back again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'll definitely risk some mind and body for that.
And
Any devil?
Do you want a devil's bargain?
Yeah, quite interested to hear one.
Yeah, anyone has any ideas?
Yeah, it's going to be an Indiana Jones moment where you're going to have to like scrape through and you'll lose all of the gold.
All of the gold.
Or at least a large chunk of it, like the bulk of it. You'll probably still have some stuff in your pockets, but any like big sack worth of gold is going to be left behind.
I'm gonna say it's like that, but rather than the gold being left behind, it's that your foot gets crushed in the door as it's closing.
Oh, nasty. Your habit feet without boot. Yeah, makes sense.
And sorry, can I just interrupt just a moment? I'm having a great time, but I do have like a pretty hard deadline at 10 o'clock because I got someone in the next room who's got to go to sleep. So if we can wrap this up fairly
let's wrap
soon.
this up immediately. Yeah. So let's make this the last scene. So what do you do?
So I would prefer Will's devil's bargain or crushed foot.
Okay, so you accept that you're gonna get a crushed fruit. So roll for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad. So
your foot gets crushed as you are closest on the wrong side, and you can hear the laughing of Risty as a massive hand comes from the hole and looms over you. And we close it there, and now each of you tells us the last scene that we see of your character. Let's start first with Orlin.
I think Orlin is like at the top of the keep, and he's set fire to the banner, and he's completely human again. But he looks around and he realizes that he's kind of got nothing left to fight for. You know, he's gone after the treasure, but the treasure didn't really matter, and he's gone after the banner, and the banner didn't really matter. And so he's just gonna take a step off the precipice and fall straight down to the courtyard.
What is the last thing that we see of Jack?
Well, I mean, Jack is happy to have cut off his compatriots because he's determined that every time he screws somebody over, he feels a little more human. So he's hoping that by the time he makes it out of here with the string, that he ends up normal-ish. But the last we see, he's still following the string.
Oh, shit. What will last say of Cassian?
With his ridiculous long 3-elbowed arms.
So Castine's foot has been horribly crushed in the door, and he's probably stuck with a foot in the door, with Risty laughing hysterically next to him. Then the little effigy turns up, scraped and everything. It's got this golden plate, which he swings and takes off the foot, the crushed foot. So Kasim falls in, and his rune is now 6 as well. So he starts laughing hysterically, as well as the gold spurts out from the stump, and he becomes part of the story for the next lot of treasure hunters.
It was great playing with you. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. It was nice to see your dooming. It was delightful. I hope to play with you again. Have a nice rest of the con. See you around, y'all.
That was fantastic.
One last thing. Are you okay with me uploading the video to the con? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Great game,
Nice
everyone.
playing
Thank
with
you.
all.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Bye.